guys, thanks for joining me. Promise I won't keep doing this where I'm doing a bench update every day. Before I start, this is what I'm drinking tonight, Sadler's Peaky Blinder Pale Ale. Really enjoy this beer. It's in that range that I like with regards to the colour and also the ABV, 4.3%. Bishop's Finger, which is 5.4, I think is about as heavy as I want to go. But this is sold at my local, let's get this right, it's my local co-op. So if any of you guys in the UK fancy trying this, then see if you can grab it from there. But yes, this is going down very nicely. Anyway, this is regarding a couple of things that have happened. One of them good, the other one not so good. I'll show you the good one first, which is regarding the Puma diorama. So there we go. As you can see, I've added some cobbles to the dia. When I did the bench update yesterday, I basically got as far as doing the flag paving, I think, and I mentioned that I'd done like a pattern for me to cut the flag paving. I've now completed round the other side, and I said I didn't know what I was going to do with the actual carriageway section. Well, I found a piece of this. This is pre-moulded plastic that you can get from railway enthusiast stockists. Mike's Models carries this. I've used this before. The wall as well is the same thing that I'm doing the now that film dio, and I have used this before, and the wall and flag paving one for some 1/48 scale dioramas that I did. I've got to be a couple of years ago now. But this is the correct scale for this. This is I would say HO00, so that's, I think it's 187 to 176, so it works. Of course, putting this straight on the base that I had would have meant that the surface of the road would have been higher than the footway. So all I did was I cut, if you remember I had this square base, I cut the balsa around the footway, so I'd got like a double thickness, a double thickness, yeah. And all I did then was fitted this section. I'll take this house off for a bit. I fitted this section onto a new base, so I've got that height now, and with this fitting on there, it brought the height of this, it made it less. I just had the one sheet of this, so I was fortunate enough to be able to, the stuff that I didn't use in this area, because I didn't put this on there, this is straight on the balsa, this is cut round. The stuff that I had got from this section, I was able to use there. All I've done is use some of the Vallejo putty to fill in the gaps. I'm hoping that when it's sprayed, you won't notice these lines here. So as you can see, I'm hoping you can pick up the detail. Flag paving was scratched out of this section, out of this area as well. I've done that part before, and so I've done that now. And all I've done is I've damaged a couple of flags. I've got one sticking up here, one the long one sticking up there. I've got a flag missing from here, and I've got a bit of the curb missing from this point here. What I was going to do was use the lighting column from the Matchbox dia, but when I put it on here, when it was adjacent to the house, it just looked far too small. You expect a column to be up at least about this height. Well, it was about there, to be honest. It was not much higher than this window. And if you put the Puma next to it, you know, when the wheels are on this, it's going to be standing a bit taller, and so it didn't look right. So I mentioned this to Greg after sending him a photo, and he said, why don't you just damage the column so it looks like it's been cut off at some point by something. So that's exactly what I did, and I got a couple of cables. I did have, yeah, got a couple of cables sticking out for the electricity. This isn't fixed yet. I've got to fix that in at some point. I may do it after it's all painted. So the Dio went from kind of like me to something that I'm really happy with now. I think I can get on and get some paint on this now. The only thing that I'm still scratching my head about is the figures, what to do with those, whether to button up the hatches on this and just have some infantry, German infantry milling around. Sorry, the turret will be something like that. I was toying with the idea of having the Puma this way, but then that means you have to turn the road wheels, and these don't really work for that. So I'll probably just leave it at that. So that's the good news. As I say, progressing nicely on that, and progressing beyond what I wanted to do, and but happy that I have. So let's move on to the bad news. So here is the bad news. You can all recognise what I've done here. Basically, my Tamiya extra thin, although in a block so that it doesn't tip over, I'd accidentally put it down at an angle so it wasn't flush with the surface, and when I accidentally pulled the brush out to do, I think, to fix the seat into this fuselage, sorry, into the other half of the fuselage, I tipped the bottle over. Now my immediate concern was that it was going to run onto the floor. I've got a lino floor in the man cave office, and I didn't particularly want Tamiya extra thin spilling onto that, so I quickly grabbed some Costa coffee tissues and dabbed it up. But of course, whilst I was doing that, this was lying down on top of the bench on top of a Costa coffee tissue, and I realised too late, and that's the result. So I've got to be honest, this build's getting to me a bit. I have ordered another one from eBay and it will arrive next week, but what I'm considering doing now is not doing the etch. I have still got the seat and quite a bit of the other etch parts. I've got to be honest, the seat looks 1,000 times better than the kit one, so I may try and fix that into the fuselage of the new kit that's coming. But I may leave it at that. But then again, I look at the dials and whatever for the control systems, and that looks 1,000 times better. So I don't know, guys. It's this is when I started the hobby on YouTube. This is the kind of build I would have done in 3 or 4 days, and it's been a while now, and I'm really no further forward. So yeah, so let's go back to the good build. So I'll put that back in shot, and I just want to say a huge thank you for the encouraging comments that you left on the last bench update. Really appreciate it. I will, if you don't mind, just do a heart as a thank you to most of you guys, because obviously this update supersedes that one, apart from the name of film Dia. It's Saturday night, so I'm going to try and get down and do some more bench work. Thanks ever so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I think I'm on 1,220 or something now, which is unbelievable. I really do appreciate the fact that you're supporting the channel. To those guys who comment regularly on my videos, thank you ever so much. If I was not receiving those and felt like I was just talking into the ether, then there wouldn't be much point in doing this, but having friendships and dialogue with people over YouTube is just fantastic, and I really do appreciate it. Yes, I've probably drunk too much beer, haven't I? Anyway, I'm going to drink a bit more and get a bit more bench work done. Take care guys, and I'll catch up with you soon.